The film grossed over $35 million against a budget of $8 million. Whoa! Whoa! This my shit right here. So that's my shit right here. Welcome back to another episode of Road to William, y'all. It's good to be back. First off, before I start this video, shout out to the new subscribers. Shout out to y'all. Y'all the best. We the best. I appreciate it though. So today's video, we're starting. I know y'all don't know this. People don't know this about me. And how would we? We don't know. We don't know. So what I'll let y'all know about me is that Lynn Whitfield is one of my favorite actors of all time. She's one of, I believe, is a very underground artist because yes, this was in theaters, A Thin Line Between Love and Hate, but I feel like that was her big break because it was in theaters. But I feel like if she kept staying in theaters, she would be just as big as everyone else. And I believe she deserves that, you know. I feel like she's one of them she one of them one. She's definitely one of them one. Her acting seems like second nature. It seems like drinking water. It's like when they say, go ahead. And then her personality, amazing. So we're gonna watch The Breakfast Club. We're gonna watch all that. We're gonna watch her interviews. Because if you didn't know about her, too much about her, even behind the camera, what is she like? We're diving into that. Join with me on this road to William. We about to go dropping daily. No breaks, no days off. No days off. Hey, let's get it, bro. Hey, let's get it, bro. And let me know one of your favorite movies or TV shows that Lynn Whitfield is in. Let me know in the comments. What's your favorite Lynn Whitfield movie? Let me know. Mine, before we get started, what is mine? Film, oh, I'm gonna say A Thin Line Between Love and Hate because that's my main start of her. That's the main one I gravitated towards when it came to her acting. Then I would say second to that, her catalog, I would say her top three I feel is A Thin Line Between Love and Hate, Eve's Bayou, and a movie. No, for me of all time is Greenleaf. Greenleaf is in there. However you want to order it, whatever. Greenleaf is in there. If you haven't watched Greenleaf all the way through, don't talk to me. You don't understand what I'm talking about. Y'all don't understand what I'm talking about. And then Oprah pop her head in there a few times, bob and weave in it, bop, bop. And even her acting has, you want to say, have grown. I mean, I've only seen Oprah in so many films. I've seen her in only so many films. But in Greenleaf, yes, she was doing her thing. Okay, so yeah, y'all let me know in the comments what you think. Let's get into it. Lynn Whitfield. She was born February 15th, 1953. Okay. I was like, you didn't have to put the year, but hey, just to say that her age, that don't even matter. That you can't even tell. Because what? Black don't what? Okay, so look, she's an American actress. She began her acting career in television and theater before. Oh my gosh! Oh my god! Okay. I messed up. I'm gonna add one more. To her catalog for me. That's her top best movies. Cheetah Girls. Okay, listen. Me and my lady just watched. Shout out to Bottoms Up. That's the show. I forgot her. Woo! Don't blame me. But her show, she's from TikTok. Go follow that. Anyways, just watched that with Raven and her wife Miranda. And they were on there. It was a dope ass show. It was funny, informative. Raven sings a little bit. If you want to just go over there, show some love on her channel. And Raven and Miranda have a channel. called Tea Time. I'll be watching that too. Just to let y'all know what I be watching on YouTube. Besides, my cousin I be balling basketball show. Besides that, uh I be watching a bunch of stuff on YouTube. YouTube is like the new to watch everything. Like you can watch movies, TV, you can watch any. So I stay on YouTube. So you could name something. Have you seen this? And I guarantee you, 9 times out of 10, I seen it or seen it scroll past it. All right, y'all, let's get into it. But yeah, Cheetah Girls is definitely one of my favorite movies of all time. Only Cheetah Girls 1 and 2, not 3, because obvious reasons. But yeah, so you're like, how did we even it connects? It all connects. She began her acting career in television and theater before progressing to supporting roles in film. She won a Primetime Emmy Award for Outstanding Lead Actress in a Limited Series or Movie and received a Golden Globe Award nomination for her breakout performance as Josephine Baker in the HBO biographical film, The Josephine Baker Story. Okay, I gotta watch that. I'm gonna be watching so much stuff, y'all. But it's all for y'all. We gonna watch everything together. Trying to put y'all up on game, okay? In the 1990s, Whitfield played leading roles in a number of made-for-television movies and had several starring roles in theatrical films, including A Thin Line Between Love and Hate, Gone Fishing, Eve's Bayou, Stepmom, Head of State, Medea's Family Reunion. She was cut through in that. I ain't gonna lie. She pissed me off in that movie. That's why I ain't named that. Whitfield also starred in a number of movies in the 2000s and 2010s. From 2016 to 2020, she starred as Lady Mae Greenleaf in the Oprah Winfrey Network dramatic series Greenleaf, for which she won critical acclaim and garnered her 2 NAACP Image Awards and a Gracie Award. Okay, I'm glad she's getting awards and being acknowledged, because I was like, because it'd be so low key, low cut, because you don't see on the Oscars or all, like the big stage. That's what I'm saying. Like, she deserves to be at that big stage. Like, this is nice, and I'm not taking anything away at all. She deserves what she has. Hold up, she need more. Let's go. Why are we waiting? Why are we waiting? Anyways, let me get back to it. I wasn't even trying to go there today. Yeah. Okay, Whitfield was born in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I did not know that. Okay, the daughter of Gene, a former president of the Louisiana Housing Finance Agency, and Dr. Valerian Smith, who is also a composer who wrote the musicals The Supper and The Wake. Her mother is a founding member of the Baton Rouge chapter of the Lynx Incorporated and is a member of Alpha Kappa Alpha sorority. Okay, where are my AKAs at? Are my AKAs out there? Let me hear you. Let me hear you. What? Where are my AKAs? Okay. Whitfield is an honorary member of the AKA sorority. She is the eldest of 4 children and a third-generation BFA graduate from Howard University. Both parents were instrumental in developing Whitfield's let's get together. Both parents were instrumental in developing Whitfield's initial interest in acting, as they were actively involved in the Baton Rouge art scene. Her love of movies was shared by her maternal grandmother, Estelle Duval Butler, who exposed her to them. By age 5, Whitfield decided she wanted to be in them. In the 1970s, following graduation, she first garnered attention on the stage by performing with the Black Repertory Company in Washington, D.C. She married playwright, director, actor Van Tal. It's one of them. One of the company, you're like, bro, what's one of the company's co-founders and a pioneer of Black theater in 1974. She eventually moved to New York and appeared off-Broadway in such shows as The Great Mac Daddy and Showdown Time before earning international acclaim touring the United States, Australia, and London's West End in the 1977 production of the landmark play for colored girls who have considered suicide, When the Rainbow is Enough. When the Rainbow is Enough, alongside Alfred Woodward. We're doing Alfred Woodward. We're doing Alfred Woodward next. Be on the lookout. Oh my gosh. How could I have not? There's so many legends. There's so many. People always say legend as if there can only be one at a time. Legend, no, it's what you do that makes you legendary, okay? Okay, look, let me quit. That's too much for y'all. I thought That's too much. That's too much. Okay, so that was in the 70s, 80s. So they're basically working her way up. She was in something with Oprah and Cicely Tyson, The Women of Brewster's Place. I haven't seen that movie. I gotta watch that movie. Don't judge me, but I've never seen it, but I definitely know of it. One time someone told me about that movie, and they were like, at the time of filming, Lawrence was 12 years younger than Whitfield, who was then 42. The film grossed over $35 million against a budget of $8 million. Whoa, whoa. We always hear about the struggling stories of like black cinema and what black cinema. We already know. It proves people want that. It just saddens me that it's not continued like it was in the 90s. People pump up the nice put remix. Yeah, I did there. People pump up the 90s. They Joe Bud in the 90s. They pump up the volume of the 90s because the 90s was the most freeing time I think people had in terms of you could say what you want. They had to deal with the consequences head on. They paved the way for us to, shit. There's a, they had, it's, y'all not ready for that. Never mind. Y'all not ready for that. 90s people paved the way for us to be where we are now. So what I'm saying is it Battlefield America, Redemption of a Dog, Training to be a Superhero, Lonely Boy, 20. Oh yeah. She was in that movie with Sanaa Lathan, Napoli Ever After. That was my movie. That scene where Sanaa Lathan's character was dancing in her living room, like she was just free. She had cut her hair, and she's like getting it in the living room by herself. Like that for me was the funniest scene of the. Okay. We ain't gotta get all in their business. All I know is we about to start with Lynn Whitfield. Toast one up to Lynn Whitfield. If you're watching, what's good? I hope y'all doing well. Drink some water. Drink some wine if you can. Wiz Khalif that thing if you need. But we about to proceed. Oh my goodness, there's so many things I have to catch up on. I feel like I missed out on life. This might be good. This might be good. Tell me how y'all feeling in the comments. How y'all feeling? Shout out to Felicia Rashad as well.
You actually have known each other a very long time, right?
Yes.
So can you talk about your shared history and when you first met?
Well, now let's see. Well, I saw you in The Great Mac Daddy. Oh, child. You weren't even born. At the Negro Ensemble Company. Yes, I did. You were fantastic. She was so fantastic. You were hoofing and everything, honey. Yeah. And doing it all. You had to do that. Do that. And then we shared at different times, but we shared the same acting teacher. Yes, Vera Katz. Vera Katz. And that's how she came to my attention, because Vera Katz is totally committed to all of her students, but she really latches onto the very special ones. And she would talk to me about this young student who had come, and she was just, you have to watch out for her because just you wait. We didn't have to wait long. It seemed like it was forever. Oh, darling, we looked up and there she was, being Josephine Baker.
Let's see what's shaking over here. Sister Circle TV.
And welcome back to Sister Circle Live. This Hollywood legend has been in classic films like East Bayou and A Thin Line Between Love and Hate. And I welcome this beautiful woman here to the table with us to go a little bit more in depth with the iconic Lynn Whitfield. Do you know that you're iconic, Lo?
I have so much more to do.
No, that doesn't mean you're done. No, I
but I never think of that. I just love telling stories.
Yeah.
So, but thank you for that.
You're welcome. Absolutely. Go ahead, Selena.
Oh,
I love on you all day, but I gotta let other people talk.
Okay. I'm just saying. Speaking of stories, Angela Bassett was down to the Instagram, honey, talking about her
her health regimen and all the things that she does, and she was just very adamant. I don't do dairy, I don't do cheese, I don't do this. Saw that. She was going in on the people, and I work out. Okay, then, and I do yoga on Saturdays. What is your regimen? What do you do to stay this beautiful through all the work that you do?
That is so sweet. First of all, thank you for a compliment like that.
Well, you're welcome.
I wish that I was as regimented, and I'm getting there, always a work in progress. But I find it really important to, at intervals, juice and go with everything green and get away from it, a lot of protein, a lot of carbs and the like. I live in a neighborhood where I can walk. So I've been walking, and now I'm about to get back to my Pilates. So I don't do enough. I mean, I was so impressed with Angela's regimen, and it inspired me. Yeah, I promise I'm gonna do better. I'm gonna do it. But I think it's really important in terms of exfoliating is really important. Yeah, and keeping a pretty clean colon. Yes, that is very important.
Yes. A lot of sleep.
You're the worst sleeper? God, please. I was so excited about our premiere day and coming on your show. It was like, okay, God, it's 1:00, 1:30. So I did my Louisiana woman thing. I got out my turmeric. Downtown in my arm, and I put it all together. I'm a little honey. Yeah. And the next thing I knew, I woke myself up with some noise that we never call anything unattractive. Just light, whispers. But what else?
Well, so you've been in Hollywood for a really long time, and it's really hard to navigate through Hollywood. So what do you attribute your staying power to?
God, keeping me calm. And here's the thing. I think it's really important that it's hard for me to do what I do without having my heart available to me. Wow. And so if I allow the disappointments and the setbacks and the labyrinth of, staying in this for these years, if I allow it to make me feeling some kind of way or something like that. Why are you looking at me? Right. No, because I have to have my heart and my soul available to these characters. Yes. So I pretty much think it's from doing the work. Yes. I think it's the art form itself that people come back to. I was so grateful, that Oprah said, "Oh no, this has got to be Lynn. Lynn has got to do this part." So every now and then they'll come back and say, "No, this girl needs to do this thing." And so I really think it's just telling the stories in a way that hopefully will be memorable and classic and stand the test of time. Yes.
Like you. Classic. And standing the test of time.
What she said.
Yes.
Lynn, I want to talk to you a little bit. I recently sat down with Regina King, and we talked about the roles and the narratives that's been created for African American women in Hollywood. Let's take a look.
They are true to who we are because we are so layered. Even if they're a little fantasy, we still believe that Black women can do anything. So while maybe the storyline may not be rooted in truth, it is wonderful and fantastic to see us not be the wife or the best friend.
And what do you think of that?
Well, I think it's a really exciting time right now for stories. Be it, we always have to suspend belief in this. You start from the truth, and then we have to entertain. It's called entertainment, and so we have to entertain people. But to see what Shonda Rhimes has done in terms of creating amazing roles, and what happened with Black Panther, how amazing is that? So I think the stories have improved tremendously. And now they just have to get to the point that women of a certain age are having hot romances with lots of fun and lots of humor and things like that. We haven't quite gotten to the delight of, just people holding on to their passion, because we have it like that. From the diaspora, from, Nigeria to South Africa, to Jamaica, you look everywhere. We have it like that.
Yes.
We have the swag and we have the passion. So people may not know that Martin really encouraged me to be as crazy as take as many chances as I wanted to take. So when I called Martin, I said, Martin, my dad, who's a dentist, told me that he had a patient that she got her husband arrested because she found out that if you beat yourself with oranges, it doesn't hurt, but you bruise. And so I said, I think we should do that. He said he loved that idea. He said, we got to do it. And then he added, well, she slamming the door, the cabinet door on the arm. And so we just kind of built on everything. And every moment that we were
insane. That scene was in.
Yeah, season 4, how's it season 4 already? Picks up with the Greenleafs trying to keep things together after losing their church. And there's even a surprise alliance among family members too.
We're going to play nice with harmony and hope, and we are going to win back the hearts and minds of this congregation. And then, when Bob makes me permanent head pastor of this interim year, we'll take a vote to leave H&H, and I will have a church over Mom.
If there's a church worthy of the name to hand over. But there's county sites now.
I'm just going to sit here and watch the two of you suddenly thick as thieves.
And the Greenleaf ladies are here with us now. Merle Dandridge, Lynn Whitfield, and Deborah Joy Winans. Welcome, ladies.
Welcome.
Okay, Lynn, I got to start with you because do we see Lady Mae and Grace actually getting along?
Actually see them working as a team. I know we had so many questions in social media, like, when are you ever going to get along? Why do you hate your daughter so much?
Well, now they know. Now we know.
A stain on Lady Mae's program, just a stain.
This must be pretty dire too for everyone.
No, but what happens? It's like, life can be the great equalizer.
Yeah.
And so we get all these external forces coming against us.
Yes.
And you really find out what tribe we are.
Right.
But I can't speak much for you.
Well, tell us what the Greenleafs are facing this year. What are the challenges they face?
Well, like Lynn was talking about, this external force that's coming up against us, it causes us to unite. So with Harmony and Hope, we lost the church. Can you believe that? The Greenleafs lost Calvary Fellowship.
And you believe
Here comes Harmony and Hope and Bob Whitmore and Bo Bridges, who was extraordinary.
Oh, he was so
love
it.
Absolutely. So there's something for us to band together, and we have a common cause. And the effect of it that just happens to come along with it is that we start to mend some familial strife.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, Deborah Joy, what does that mean for Charity? Because Charity had a rough season last season. Where is she going to fit into all of this? Is she with the family?
Well, she's no longer trying to fit in. She is going for what she believes is hers, for what she believes she deserves, and she's not taking no for an answer. And so she gives her family the opportunity to oblige. But if they don't, doesn't matter the damage. She is going for what she deserves.
So the baby of the family is taking her
step. She is. She's making her own decisions. She is sticking up for herself, whether the decisions are right or wrong.
I'm glad you said
that.
You're right. Yeah.
Charity.
She's finally not just taking what anybody says or gives. She is going for what is in her heart.
Yeah.
And maybe some of that can be wrong. And I think that she'll find her way, but she is making her own decisions. She is being her own woman. And she's gonna make quite an explosion.
Yeah, oh, wow.
Oh.
I don't know. The whole it's strong women. The whole show is these strong women, obviously led by matriarch Lady Meg.
But isn't it just so exciting to have a show where every woman, our young women,
Yes.
every gonna be a bumpy night, and that kind of thing. I said, so before we dive into the memories, and I know that we all have so much to share, I just want to say a few words to honor Bishop's wishes.
Lynn Whitfield has so many classic performances. You know, the Emmy winner from Greenleaf's Lady May and Brandy in A Thin Line Between Love and Hate, two unforgettable portrayals in the Josephine Baker story and Eve's Bayou. The legendary actress was in town for the Prince George's Film Festival over the weekend, and that's where we chatted about those roles and how she made them iconic. What does a character have to have in order for you to agree to sign on to a movie?
I gotta feel that there's a good arc to the character. So a character starts at one place and travels and journeys and grows or withers and ends somewhere else, right? So that's important to me, that the character makes changes and complexity. I don't find much excitement or passion when something is written very simplistically, because I think that human beings are very complex.
And you've done that. I mean, people are making Brandy memes and videos on TikTok. Do you get a kick out of that?
Well, when I was a little girl, I used to watch the $1 Million Movie with my grandmother, Estelle, in Baton Rouge, right? And so movies like All About Eve, right, which Betty Davis walks down the staircase, fasten your seatbelts, it's going to be a bumpy night. And, that kind of thing. I said, I want to do characters and create characters that are quotable, where they remember what you said, where you have those little taglines that people will never forget. I always wanted to do classic work that could stand the test of time, right? So it's really cool because I get to do it. People will say, what is that line you said in Medea's family reunion when she told you you was going to go to hell? I said, I vacation there. And they love that.
That interview you back in 2019 at the Essence Fest.
Oh, yes.
For Greenleaf, actually.
Oh.
And this is a photo of us.
Oh.
And that was at the big 2019, July of 2019.
Yes.
Yeah. And I asked you, how are you able to play all of these varied characters so well? And you grabbed my hands and you said, it's because of what I've been through.
Oh, yes.
You were able to bring parts of your lived experiences to your characters.
Yes.
So now that I know that, I want to know, what do your characters give you?
Oh, I learned lessons through my characters, Well, we were talking about Brandy Webb, that old adage, hell hath no fury like a woman scorned. I learned that, and maybe not completely at that time, no relationship that brings you deep sadness and undermines your sense of security of yourself, and your self-image, it's not worth it. If it brings out the worst in you, right? I learned, just better to take shoes off, put them in your hand, and just keep on stepping. Step away from that. It's not worth it. With Josephine Baker, I because she put her career on hold and then had to go through all of the machinations of adopting 12 kids and a rainbow tribe and all that, because by then she couldn't have her own children. And I I did not put life on hold, you know. I fell in love, we got married, and I had a beautiful baby girl, Grace, who's now a grown lady and working on her own art form, which is music and composing, performing. To not put your life on hold for a career, that, you know, we've got to try to live it all. So each character and the lessons, you know, like now I'm still trying to learn from Lady May. If you remember, her final sermon was, you know, make me new. What is the new thing? So at this point in my life and phase in my career and the unfoldment of being a woman, you know, I've never been this age. I've never been at this point in my career. And it's time for me to have that new thing.
And I have no doubt that new thing will be just as illustrious as all the other things that she's done. And that's where you can follow Miss Lynn Whitfield.
You know, it kind of keeps you going.
A bit of a surprise, yeah,
Yes.
right up to the end.
Yes, you're not quite sure how this is going to play out. Enjoyed your performance very, very much.
Thank you.
There was, as soon as the line in the film that Samuel Jackson says about you, your character, you would think, well, that could be kind of, oh, all right, so she's gorgeous, so she's perfect. She could be just a paint, you know, a bore. And yet, bring so much to this character. And I was really impressed.
Thank you. Thank you.
So how did you get around that just being beautiful and perfect?
Because nothing is ever that simple. Life is not that simple. People who end up being criticized or ostracized or betrayed because they strive to those high ideals of, you know, some kind of perfection, usually are driven by something. So I never approach a character thinking that it's all of just what it looks at on the surface, or even just what it is on the page. I always try to bring a depth, a humanity, and play a person moment by moment, and not for result or with any generalization in it. So when you're with somebody moment by moment, human beings are just interesting. And if you hang in there and with it, you know, you see much more, more texture, more colors, more, you know, because it's never, people are never just what they're saying out of their mouth. It always is more to them than that. It's perhaps what they don't say. It's perhaps how they listen and what they're feeling, how they're being impacted by something that's going on across the room. And that's just the human experience. So it's the way I like to work. I mean, it's what makes acting fun for me. It's a great thing. I mean, there's all this stuff about, oh God, you know, you just shouldn't, I mean, prostitutes are playing a prostitute or this, that, and the other. And I understand what they, and I understand what, but I always go back to like Jane Fonda and Clute. This was a brilliant performance and a portrayal of someone. And she never played a generalization. And I hope that it worked out that way. And I'm very pleased to hear that you felt I brought more to it than was said.
You're originally from Baton Rouge.
Yes. Yes.
Did that have anything to do with your getting this role?
I don't think so. It had to do with it in that I embody certain qualities, I think, naturally, from coming from the region and being, as they say, you're from Dallas, raised by Southern women. So in that way, I think so. But it wasn't as pat as, oh, great, well, she's from Louisiana, and this is about somebody from Louisiana, so I guess she'll do a wonderful job with it. I think it had more to do with just qualities.
Thank you guys for tuning in. We up on and popping. Let's go.
Yeah. What we do today? Yeah.